Hello everyone. Razorblade Mango here. And today I wanted to talk about a long dormant IP that is one that I have quite a bit of affection for, and one that I think its potential revival would greatly help the company that owns it. And said company is PlayStation, and said IP is PlayStation Home. Now, PlayStation Home, for those who don't know, was a social space that was created back on the PS3. You could create your own avatar, you go out into a virtual world, you buy clothes, you buy things for your apartment, you can go meet up with random strangers, do various activities, meet up with friends, that kind of stuff. PlayStation Home was even home, no pun intended, was home to some really fun ideas. Like, for example, Sony hosted one of their E3 booths in PlayStation Home. You could go in, you could watch the conference in a movie theater in the virtual space with other people around you. It was a really cool idea that unfortunately never reached the point where I think it would have convinced Sony to keep it going into the PS4 generation and beyond. So unfortunately they killed it like quite a while ago. And thankfully people have been doing, unofficial revivals of servers. It's still alive in an unofficial sense. But as far as bringing that idea to the present, I think Sony have done a really bad job at taking advantage of a really great opportunity to bring back PlayStation Home. And I think PlayStation Home, if it were to be revived, I think it could be not only really great in its own right, but I think it would be a big moment for Sony as a company. If they were to really play their cards right and put in the effort to create a compelling a social space, PlayStation Home could be huge. I really do see the potential for it because it was so ahead of its time back then. This game basically was VR chat without the VR. But again, VR chat before VR chat became a thing. And I think now that we are in this era where people are like, oh, let's do metaverses. This was a very early example of a metaverse, something that I think would not look out of place coming out today. But what's so frustrating is that PlayStation has been sitting on PlayStation Home for so long, and they just haven't done anything with it, even though I think it could be a big hit for them. And there are three areas that I think PlayStation Home would really be able to help Sony in particular, and I'll start with each one. So the first area is that bringing back PlayStation Home, I think would give people, especially hardcore fans, a sign that modern PlayStation is not as out of touch with them as we might think they are. Modern PlayStation is all about becoming a global brand, whatever that means. They don't seem to give two shits about appealing to the hardcore people that got them the success that they have today, almost 30 years ago. But if PlayStation were to bring back PlayStation Home, that's a sign. I'm not going to say that's a total reversal of company culture, but that would be a good sign that they are listening, to what people want. And the second goal that I think it would satisfy is that, and this is going to sound like heresy coming from me, is that this gives them a live service to work with. If PlayStation is going to go all in on diving into the live service sewer, then PlayStation Home, I think, would have been a good place to start, because it's a brand people know, it's a connection to the hardcore player base, and it makes sense. This is the thing. PlayStation Home creating their own social space that they could add events to, add cosmetics to that you can buy, avatars that characters can use, stuff like that. That to me makes a lot more sense than fucking Fair Games or Concord or some other live services that they're trying out. To me, like PlayStation Home, if they really did it right, this could be a huge, if we're talking just pure financial profit, this could be a huge moneymaker for them. Do you know how fucking ready people would be to buy avatars of characters like Aloy and Kratos so they can walk around in them in their own apartment, and maybe link up their trophy collection that they have on PlayStation to an actual physical trophy room in their apartment or something? It's like cool shit like that would keep people engaged, that would encourage people to spend time with it, that would encourage them to spend some money on it. Hell, I could be convinced to do it. You throw out an Astrobot skin for my avatar in fucking PlayStation Home, modern PlayStation Home, boom! There you go. You got money from me, basically. Deck my shit out with Astrobot shit, please. I'll do it. Shit, Bloodborne costumes, I'll fucking take them. So it's ripe with potential, but they just don't do it. They instead want, let's make fair games. No. The third and final goal that I think our PlayStation Home revival would help achieve would be creating a killer app for the PlayStation VR 2. That would, I really do think PlayStation Home, having that be a PSVR 2 game, like both 2D and PSVR 2, would entice a lot of people to buy a headset. It's no secret that PlayStation VR 2 is not lighting the world on fire. I think the sales are very soft, and the fact that Sony did not mention a peep about PSVR 2 in their recent financial reportings, that tells me all I need to know with how they think of it right now. If it was a success, they would say so to their shareholders, but they didn't. This is what PSVR 2 is lacking. It's lacking killer apps. You bring PlayStation Home in there, give it a PSVR 2 mode, make it fully playable there, seamlessly transition between PSVR 2 and 2D flat screen. You could have a big success. You would have people that don't want to play PSVR buying the game, playing it, spending money in it, and then you would also have the people that love VR that want more experiences like VR chat on a console. Here you go. VR metaverse right there, guys. As Sony, it's right there. It's right there. Those three goals. Bringing back an IP the hardcore fan base has been asking for years, satisfying a live service need for them, and giving PSVR 2 a killer app. Those three reasons make PlayStation Home such a juicy prospect for PlayStation, or it should be a juicy prospect. But they aren't doing anything with them. It's like they're staring at a tree, and on this tree is like the juiciest, voluptuous, most delicious looking fruit they've ever fucking seen, but they don't want to pick it off the tree. They just, why? They don't do anything with it. It's so frustrating. I think even more than Bloodborne, the lack of reviving this IP frustrates me the most, because while I understand if they don't want to touch Bloodborne, if From Software is not ready to work on it, that I understand. This could be a From Software thing. That could be the reason that Bloodborne is being held back for like a remake or a sequel or whatever, or 60 frames patch even. But Home, you guys own it. You guys own it. You don't have to worry about any party or anything to get approval for this thing. Reach out and grab it, Sony. It's right there. It's literally right there in the palm of your hand, but you're not doing anything with it. And that to me is so frustrating as somebody who sees so much potential in PlayStation Home, someone who continues to see potential in PlayStation Home. You're not doing anything with that. But in the modern PlayStation era, that IP makes so much sense to me that it's not even funny. But they just don't see it. They just don't see it, or they've I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking not bringing back PlayStation Home. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about it, because it's a topic that I find both fascinating and frustrating. So there you go. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think about PlayStation Home. Would you want to see a PlayStation Home revival? Let me know. And as always, I am Razorblade Mango. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all later.